Hey everybody, first of all, I'm pretty sure I have a chest infection. I thought it would be a good idea to go for a walk outside and get some fresh air. Also, my voice sounds a little bit clearer today, like yesterday I could barely speak. I thought it would be nice to take you for a walk through here because this is where I come to clear my head. I thought I should probably do this kind of video with you more. Would you like that? Like, just to kind of talk about life, the universe, and everything. I feel like I've just been doing, and I've said this months ago, and nothing's really changed because I'm so fucking hopeless. I always want to get through these videos that I feel like more obliged to do, like talking about like fashion and beauty and tra-la-la. Sorry. I'm assuming I have a chest infection, going by all the pain, and the fact that I've copped up something like a cup of gelatinous dark green bloody goop today. I'm like, where is this all coming from? Where is this being stored? I guess like I haven't really just talked to you for a while, so I feel like, and I haven't been massively, what's the word? Active? I haven't been massively active online. Like occasionally I post Instagram stories and stuff. Oftentimes I feel really like self-conscious. I actually don't like taking selfies, she says, walking around filming herself with a giant selfie stick. I would kind of rather tell the story of my life rather than post photos of my face. I'm like, you know what I look like, right? Yeah, I really haven't felt good about my body for a long time. I've said this many times, I'm not a photographer, I'm not a model, and I feel like I kind of am sort of expected to do those things all simultaneously. I'm expected to be a good model and be able to take good photos of myself, and I'm not good at those things. I haven't really been like active enough online for a while, and I do feel bad about that. Having this connection with you is like, I'm by myself, okay? I'm by myself all the time, like all the fucking time. I think people think that I have this like glamorous life and like this amazing social life, and that I'm like wealthy and I'm just constantly shopping, and I don't really know what people assume about me, but literally I must spend about 90 to 95% of my time alone in my flat with my cats and my budgies. And I can go a fortnight without talking to another human. Once a week I'll have a chat with my mother, I'll talk to Mr. Owl. I mean like a face-to-face with a human being, like not on the internet. Like I can just not see anyone or not talk to anyone because I don't have a real need to go anywhere. I live kind of outside of the city, it's quite isolated, and I've got no fucking money. It's better if we just sort of have some chats. What do you think? Is it annoying if I walk? Should I stay still? Should we just look at this cool t-shirt from Got the Cat, The Cure, love cats? I also want to take a moment to point out, I don't know if you can tell, but my socks match my shirt. This is a pair of cat socks from Happy Socks. Thank you, Happy Socks. I think the last time I just did like a sort of chatty, yappy, ranty video was like in March, when I was in Wellington in New Zealand. I don't think I've really sort of explained anything about life, and you know, those of you who are interested, I will do so now. I don't know why it's such an interesting topic, but for those of you who are interested, the whole like relationship thing, like what the fuck's going on? Okay, so here's the deal. I still live next door to Matthias. Like we are one wall apart because neither of us can afford to move, and you know, we're both quite happy with our apartments. We did not like talk to each other for the first 6 months of this year. It was just better that way. We both had to like sort out shit emotionally. We're friends again now, everything's cool, hopefully. Yeah, and like we've finally made friends again, and that's like a massive relief. He has a girlfriend, I'm really happy for them both. I think, you know, he's happy, she's happy, it's nice to see them happy. I know her, I really like her, she's great, so you know, I'm stoked for the whole situation. There was all this chat, I noticed that like, oh, that Mr. Owl and I had just gone ahead and got married. It's like, you can't do that. Like, I'm still technically married to Matthias. You can't just like get a divorce and then just get married again. It doesn't work that way. He and I are still technically married, even though I'm engaged to Mr. Owl, the man to whom I was engaged before I moved to Germany years ago. I know it's a bit of a weird situation, but you know, whatever. Life's weird sometimes. Keep it weird, keep it interesting. When I went to visit him at the start of the year, we decided that like we would carry on and pick up where we left off basically, and we would eventually get married. So I have my engagement ring on. A lot of people thought this was a wedding ring, but like you have to, if you're married, you have to be separated for at least a year before you can like apply for a divorce. So it's still gonna be a while before he and I can, before we can be legally divorced and before I can like officially get married to Mr. L. So it's gonna be a while yet, okay? It's gonna be like at least a year. I want to have like a proper wedding this time. Not like massively big and flashy, but I want it to be really special. I want it to be beautiful. So that's the deal. Mr. L and I are engaged again. Yay! He still lives in New Zealand. He's studying. He will be studying for another year and a half or something. I really want him to finish his degree because I think what he's doing is really cool and he's doing extremely well at it. He's like an A average or something, I don't know, but he's like, you know, excelling, like passing with excellence. So he's in New Zealand doing that, and I'm still living in Germany, so we're doing like the long distance thing, and it sucks. Like, so I talk to him on the internet like nearly like every day pretty much. It's really hard to be separated at such a massive distance from the person that you want to be glued to. Neither of us can just like jump on a plane and go visit each other. That being said, he did come and visit me. He was here for 6 weeks. He came here in June. It was wonderful. The time went by way too quickly, and that's why we went to Rome and Vienna. I don't know if you saw those vlogs, but he wanted to go to Rome. I wanted to go to Vienna. I thought, well, we should take this opportunity while you're here and we'll go now. He didn't want to be in my videos. He didn't want to, but fair enough, you know, not everybody does, but he didn't want to like be in the vlogs. He didn't want to really do videos, but we were working on one. It's actually something really different. The video that we were working on together, it's actually something really different, and it's something that we wanted to do since I started YouTube. Put it this way, it's a song, right? It's a song, so we recorded it and stuff, but we'll probably not actually film the video of it until I go see him at the end of this year. I think my family would like to see me for Christmas just once, so I'm probably going to be back in New Zealand for a few weeks. I think we'll go for a bit longer this time. I'll probably go for like 10 weeks or something, from Christmas time onwards. Nature. Good to get some fresh air. That's something else. It's something else that you may or may not know about, or may not care about. I don't know. That's your decision. I got back into working on my novel. Yeah, I've posted about it on Instagram a little bit. So like 13 years ago, I started writing a book, and it was based on a lot of the stuff that I had made up as a kid, because you know the kind of colourful imagination that children have. It took me 5 years and I finished it. It's actually a trilogy, so I had finished the first book and done like parts of the second too. I gave it to 2 people to read, and then I was like, no, it's no good, it's shit, I'm gonna rewrite it. And then I went to go and study, and life got in the way, and 7 years later I still hadn't rewritten the book. A few months ago I started rewriting the book, and I've become kind of obsessed with it, like, and at this point, I no longer care if anyone likes it or if anyone reads it. I just want to finish it, because that is my like life goal, is to publish a book. And if I die without this particular book being in the world, I will have to come back for round 2 with life. And I actually feel like I've made more progress with it lately than I have ever made in one go, which is really saying something. Like just in the last few weeks in particular, I just had like all these sort of sparks going off in my head. This sounds really lame, I'm sorry, but just all these things suddenly make a lot of sense, or bits that were kind of murky suddenly became clear, and I was like, oh, that character doesn't even need to exist. If those 2 things happen the other way around, that's so much more dynamic. Yeah, basically just I've made so much progress with my novel in the last few weeks, or I should say months. I actually think I might have it finished by the end of this year, which I'm saying that now, it may not happen, but I'm actually feeling pretty confident that my first book will be finished by the end of the year. If you want to know what it's about, I'm not going to tell you. Well, you'll find out, won't you, when it's done. It's probably not the kind of book you would expect from me. Like, it's a fantasy novel. I don't really read fantasy so much or watch fantasy films, but like I said, it's just this thing I made up as a kid, and I started it so long ago. It's a fantasy trilogy, but it's not like super fantasy. It's not like all just magic and stuff. What would you call it? It's like an 18th century dark fantasy. I guess you'd call it that. Maybe it is the kind of thing you'd expect from me. With a bit of luck, next year you'll be able to read my novel. We'll see. And then I'll do the other 2. I've got the whole thing planned out. I know what happens in it now. At this point, after having thought about that book and having had the characters and the story in my head for like nearly half my life, I just want it to be done. I just want it to be finished. Like I said, I don't care if nobody likes it or if nobody reads it. It just has to be done. It has to be out. I have to have it in physical, tangible paper form and have it on the shelf, finished, gilded, whatever, and be able to hold it in my hand and say, here is this thing that I have made. Telling stories is my passion above all other things in life. Movies are my favorite way to tell stories, of course, but with books you're really allowing people to use their imagination a lot more. And I do feel quite terrified of the thought of other people reading it as well, because it's so personal and like it's been just this whole world and all these people in my head for 13 years. I will finish that book this year. I think it's a good thing if you want to write a book to force yourself to do like a little bit of it every day, even if it's not very good, just so you've got something to work with. But I'm not having any trouble doing that because I can't stop thinking about the thing. Like, I want to sit down for hours every day and write it until it's finished. It's ready. It's ready to be born. I've also been working on some crafty stuff, which you will eventually get to see once I've perfected my crafty stuff. You'll see. I'm really looking forward to showing it to you. It's something I've known how to do for a long time, but I'm taking like a further step in improving the thing. God, I'm being so vague, I'm sorry. The shop where I sell my secondhand clothes and stuff from time to time, there'll be other stuff in there kind of soon. I spend most of my time in front of my computer doing like digital things, but there is something very satisfying about doing stuff with your hands, like making something and having something to physically hold at the end. Yeah, I don't want to wish my life away, but I am looking forward to the end of the year when I'll get to see Mr. Owl again and we can work on the videos that we want to do together. We'll finish this song one, but there's another one that we've come up with the idea of doing, which should be just as much fun. Every time I come up with a stupid idea for something I'd like to do or try, he's like always on board. He's like, hell yeah, I'll do it. Oh, it's so quiet. I've also been thinking, because I really do like to just chat with people. I feel kind of bad because all the people who support me on Patreon, I've never really been able to give them any kind of initiative to support me, except for the knowledge that they are literally keeping me alive, because without my Patreon supporters I would be fucked, and I'm not just saying that, I mean it. I'm thinking I might start doing like Patreon only like live streams or Patreon only Q&As or something. Was that something you'd be keen on? So if any of you want to like chuck $1 into the Patreon tin each month, then yeah, you can join in on that, and I thought that would be nice. Just an idea I've had. What do you think? Thank you so very much for joining me and listening to my yapping with my croaky voice. Hope all is well wherever you are. It's very healthy just to take a moment to clear your head out or just say things out loud that you need to say. So sunshine. If you have not already done so, please subscribe to my channel. Come hang out. And as always, take care of yourselves, be nice to each other, and I'll see you next time. Bye!